everybody. It's time for another Timmy time! Yay! Timmy time! Woo! And do you know what's coming up very, very soon? That's right, it's Father's Day. And today we're going to be talking about a father who is mentioned in the Bible by Jesus. This story is called the Prodigal Son. Jesus told a parable about a man with two sons. He told a parable because a parable is a simple story to help people understand something that is sometimes hard to understand, something that is important to understand. In this parable, there was a man who had two sons. The father knew that someday he would get very old and die. When he died, all of his money and his house and his farm would go to his two sons. The money and property that the children would receive from someone who dies is called an inheritance. The younger son was very impatient. He did not want to wait for his father to die to get his inheritance. He wanted to go to his father's money soon so he could go and spend it. He asked his father to divide all of his money up and give him his part. The father wanted his son to be happy, so that's what he did. The younger son took all of the money and he left home. He went to live in another country that was very far from his home. He bought everything that he wanted. He spent money on parties. People liked him because he had lots of money. The problem was that soon the money ran out. He had no more money for parties. And people stopped liking him. They weren't real friends. They only liked him when he bought them things. Now they did not even want to be around him. There was a famine in the country where the son lived. That meant that there was hardly any food to eat. The son got a job working for a man who owned some pigs. His job was to feed the pigs. The son was so hungry that he wished he could eat the food the pigs were eating. Finally, the son began to think about what he had done. He knew that he had been wrong to ask his father for the inheritance. He wanted to go home, but he thought his father would never forgive him. He couldn't even blame his father for that because he knew he didn't deserve to be forgiven. The son went back home. He wanted to say he was sorry. He would not ask for his father to let him live in the house. He would just ask if he could work for him like one of his other workers. As soon as the son got close to the father's house, he noticed his father running to meet him. He could not believe it. His father was not even angry. Instead, he was so happy to see his son that he threw his arm around him and gave him a big hug and a kiss. The son said he was sorry for what he had done. He told his father that he did not deserve to be a son, but the father loved him so much and was so happy to see him again that he wanted to celebrate. He was happy to forgive his son. He told his servants to cook a big dinner. He put on a beautiful robe on his son. He put a ring on his finger and special sandals on his feet. The father and the youngest son were very happy, but the father's older son was jealous. He never left home and spent all the money, but nobody had a party for him. But the father went to the older son and told him that he loved him too. He explained to the son why he was so happy. Don't you understand, son? I am so happy because my son has come home. I thought he was dead, but now I know he was alive. Please, let's all be happy together. Jesus told this parable so that people would understand something about God. Sometimes we are like the young son in the parable. We do things that are wrong. We start to feel very bad. We might think that God would never forgive us. But God does forgive us. We tell God we are sorry. He is so happy. He is happy because he loves us, and he wants us to always do the right thing. Do you think God will love and forgive you if you tell him something you are sorry for? You know, I think that sounds very similar to how fathers tend to act. It seems that no matter how mad they get, just like God, they forgive you. Do you need to tell God you're sorry? This father say thank your dad for all the things that he does for you. That's all we have today.